weeks ago when we began this, our 10th season here at the nation's most dangerous vehicle show. We unveiled this spectacular automobile as this season's hero car. Back in those days, this Cadillac had a top cruising speed of over 300 kilometers an hour. She was a sight to behold, but today, she can't go any faster than 0. How did it get this way? You're probably guessing that it was possessed by a poltergeist. And I can see why you'd think that. However, the truth of the matter is, it was driven by these people! They're now the finalists of our Unwanted Driving Award. And in this, our final episode, one of them will get their comeuppance and this trophy and the unwanted title, Canada's Worst Driver. Here at the country's most important safe driving show, we always begin our final episode by putting the 3 worst drivers in the entire country in one vehicle and then testing them on a simple course. It's time for that course. And this year we thought it was really of the utmost importance to get a vehicle they could all fit in.
So, we picked up a 1977 Pontiac Parisienne.
All right, everybody out. I think there's enough room in here for the challenge.
And the challenge is to go forward from this start line, then slalom around these 4 figures, then reverse back around the foam pedestrians and through the arch. And all of this must happen in 45 seconds. I'll show you how it's done.
I'm gonna go up here like this. Swoosh. Oh man, this thing rocks on its shocks. Ooh, little wide there, but that's okay. Everything is smooth. The thing that happens all too often in these final challenges is that the drivers get their excitement levels up, and that translates to panic, and they handle the car poorly. I'm going wide on these turns. That's not gonna help me. If they charge at this final thing, they're gonna be in trouble. But if they just come through smoothly and do everything we've taught them to do, they should be able to pass this challenge. Time!
My time is 41 seconds. What will be the times for Canada's worst drivers? Who knows? But I can tell you that they are Cheney from Calgary, who says she needs to drive at home for the sake of her son.
Max, would you like it if I became a better driver?
Yeah, because I'm scared.
Then there's Jason. Jason's from Sudbury, and he says that he needs to drive at home for the sake of his son.
I don't want to be a bad driver like him.
And finally, there's Seaham, also from Calgary. Seaham says she needs to drive at home for the sake of her son, whom she is presently too afraid to drive.
If my mommy could drive, I can do way more things than before.
While Canada's worst drivers run this course.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
No, I'm not.
The folks who nominated them will watch from the sidelines.
You got this, buddy?
Go! That's Jason's brother, Bart. Go! Going forward, Jason is fine.
Good job, Jay.
But coming back,
Watch front end swing.
Jason gets completely discombobulated.
What is he doing?
Aye! Front end swinged into the edge.
At this point, I'd be expecting a little bit more better results out of Jason.
That's our head driving instructor, Tim Danter. He, along with therapist Shamala Kiru, high-speed driving instructor Philippe Laterno, and legal expert Cam Woolley will be helping me decide who is Canada's worst driver. And it might be Jason.
Oh,
On attempts where Jason isn't hitting things, he goes so slowly, he loses all track of time.
so how long did that take you?
I'd say 40 seconds.
1 minute and 35.
On Jason's 6th run, he's pretty clumsy, but he's through the gates in 50 seconds.
5 seconds off, buddy.
I know.
Without a hit, all right?
Okay,
Love you.
I like it.
Man, you could feel the tension in his head.
Okay, I gotta relax.
On Jason's 8th run, he does a clumsy but clean forward slalom.
Go, 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 go.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it this time.
On the return trip, Jason goes way wide,
Too much. Go back, go back.
but he does get lined up at the finish with seconds to spare.
He can get it this time. Go! 40, 41, 42, 43. Yes!
Jason's pass means we can do a happy dance. Seaham starts her first attempt by flooring it.
He's not around.
Oh, no.
That's Wayne, Seaham's husband. Seaham's second run is so bad, Wayne wants to cry.
If she sees me crying here, it'll be the end of it.
Yeah, don't let her.
On Seaham's third attempt,
No.
Wayne's turned his back on the action.
I'm bad luck. I think I'm bad luck.
Driving ain't about luck, my friend. It never has been, never will be. It's about skill and vision.
Unskilled Seaham will never have good vision if she doesn't start looking where she wants to go instead of looking like a bobblehead doll.
Your head's all over the place. You're making yourself dizzy.
I know.
Want a hug?
I'm good. Thanks.
Just want me to leave?
On her fourth attempt,
Honestly, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Seaham hits 3 things.
Unbelievable.
On her fifth attempt, she hits 5 things. And on her 6th run, she's killing my childhood heroes.
Oh,
Tall Smurf down.
7's a bust. 8's a wreck. And 9 will make your head spin. Will she pass her 10th and final attempt? What do you think?
Oh, dear, 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 dear.
Perhaps Seaham should quit driving forever.
If the experts believe that I should cut up my license, I will.
Okay.
There is no questions.
Cheney predicts instant success.
I'm gonna do it on the first try because I'm getting hungry. I need to go fix my hair and stuff.
She thinks she could do every course in one.
That's Jeremy, Cheney's boyfriend.
Clock's running. If hair is your motivator to be a good driver, it probably goes without saying that you're a bad driver. Cheney's a bad driver.
Just keep going so you can practice.
Practicing the reverse. Cheney's speed is more than she can handle.
She's gonna be in on time, except for the 2 people she killed in the arch that she hit.
I just need to look where I want to go, and it's so hard because they're just like, bright colors, and you just, you know what I mean?
Like people wearing clothes almost.
Yeah.
On attempt number 2, Cheney recklessly floors it while steering hand over hand. And on the way back, she hits the arch.
Did I do it?
Did you hit anything?
Oh, I just nicked the arch by a little bit.
On Cheney's 3rd run, she hits the arch again. And again, she thinks she passed.
Let me see. Ah! Did I pass?
Did you hit anything?
Oh, it's just an arch. Andrew.
Yes?
Come on. What if I give you a hug? Will you let me pass?
Okay, that's the rudest thing I've heard at the rehab center all year. You're one of those people that bats their lashes and think they can get away with stuff by being cute.
I'm not.
No, you cannot give me a hug to pass.
What, like...
And she's off.
Run numbers 4 and 5 are too slow, and on run number 6, she hits. Twice. But on run number 7, Cheney's looking like she'll be successful.
It's not about time.
Cheney's only at 35 seconds.
Oh! God! You gotta be kidding.
Cheney's next 2 runs are the exact same story. On time, but she hits the arch.
Jesus, Christopher.
But her 10th run is clean. Is she done on time?
Did I pass?
You tell me.
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think? Did Cheney pass? No, she didn't. 2 seconds too slow.
It's all
I'm
good.
so angry.
When we come back,
Oh my God!
it's time for our annual
Mega
challenge! On every season of Canada's Worst Driver, we put our final 3 nominees through one intense last rehab center challenge. A bad performance today could result in a lifetime of humility and red-faced shame. Our course builders are out there right now, putting the finishing touches on one final test that will call upon elements of every lesson that the drivers have learned here in rehab. And we call this final challenge, well, you know what we call it. We call it the Mega Challenge.
The Mega Challenge.
The Mega Challenge! This year's Mega Challenge course will be done in our fancy Mustang.
I shouldn't be doing it in this car, though. Here's our poor Cadillac.
I'll show you how this year's Mega Challenge course unfolds by doing it. Starting with our 60K an hour Eye of the Slalom.
What is the eye of the slalom? It means I go through the eye of the needle, swish, and I have to slalom around people that are in the way, hang in their car, whoosh, and then I slow down for this corner. Wow, did you see me duck? I still duck. 10 years at the rehab center, I still duck.
I don't flinch during the precision steering section, which leads to
Our reversing section.
getting turned around in the turnaround section requires multiple S-turns and patience.
Patience is my friend as a driver.
In the reverse precision steering section,
Holy guacamole.
patience is still my friend. But for the next element, I need intensity, because in this confined space, I need to pull off a reverse 180-degree spin out.
Foot off the gas. Small turn, big turn. Woohoo, man alive. Okay, and when I pop out of there,
I slide right into the icy corner, which must be entered at 50 kilometers an hour.
I block up the brakes, look where I want to go, and make the corner. And then the Mega Challenge, haha, I even got the bug, is done.
8 minutes after I began, I end with a ridiculous face. Cheney starts with a ridiculous face.
Do the duck face.
Cheney has been shown this course, and she's been told the speeds to go.
You have to go 60.
But right out of the gates, she's driving like she's never seen the course.
Which way should I go?
And instead of going 60, she speeds past 80.
Whoa.
Jenny.
What? What?
Cheney.
In the precision steering section, the hitting continues.
Just be careful. Be careful.
Come on, Cheney. Observe, man. Come on, observe.
I am.
You're not. You're not. You're just going.
Now, how do I do this?
Well, you're supposed to do this without hitting anything, but Cheney's hitting everything. And when I get Jeremy out of the car,
What the?
Cheney gets worse.
I don't understand. She's had all this training.
Oh my God.
When you go home, are you gonna let her drive your truck?
No.
In the reverse precision steering section, which is wider than the forward precision steering section, Cheney appears unrehabilitated.
Oh my God.
Before the 180-degree spin-out, Cheney wants to prepare by glossing. I want her to prepare by thinking.
You remember how to do it?
Nope.
Come on.
After 3 minutes of discussing, Cheney heads for the reverse spin-out box.
How was that?
It was okay.
Before the icy corner, I get out.
Icy corner. Talk to me about the steps.
Do I gotta pull the e-brake for this one? I forget.
Step 1 is going 50k an hour. But Cheney speeds past 70, which makes the turn impossible.
Right there, right there. Slower, 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 slower. Look, 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 look. Way too fast, Cheney.
For the mega challenge, Cheney has set the bar pretty damn low.
Are you Canada's worst driver?
I'm not Canada's worst driver.
Well, who is?
Seaham.
When we come back, Seaham and Jason run the mega challenge.
Son of a...
Canada's worst drivers are going through our annual mega challenge.
I thought I just nicked the first girl on the side.
Nicked.
Jason goes through the eye of the slalom like a champ.
Jesus, that's fast. Slow down. I'm slowing down.
He's hit free through the precision steering section,
Whoa, that's a surprise.
but in the confined turnaround area,
Why are you scratching the door of the Mustang?
I'm not scratching. Yes, you are. Oh, crap.
the wheels start coming off.
Jason.
Just getting through the entrance takes him 6 attempts.
Oh, am I still on that? Yes.
And once he gets turned around, he's just as bad getting out. Just when you thought he was doing well,
The joke.
will Jason choke again on the reverse spin-out?
Talk yourself through the steps.
Small turn, big turn.
That's 2 turns. Jason only does 1.
Oh, no.
On the icy corner, Jason goes 10k faster than the 50k an hour speed limit, and just because of that, he doesn't make it.
Son of a...
Before rehab, Jason may not have even turned at all.
Out of 10, what were you as a driver when you entered rehab?
I say maybe 2, 3.
And now?
I give myself an 8.
An 8. That's too high.
Seaham needs silence for this challenge. In every single episode this year,
Keep going, keep going.
we told Wayne to stop advising
60.
so that Seaham can make all of the driving decisions herself. Because Because if Seaham needs a passenger that's basically a speedometer,
Slow down, slow, nice and slow.
she will never be independent.
As slow as you can go, even if you have to stop first.
Okay, Wayne. Good God, man.
Wayne's doing way too much coaching. Seaham needs to do this for herself.
This is where I get a little bit mad. Were you calling out speeds and stuff like that?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not about can you read the speedometer. Get out of the car. I'm headed up to here with these passengers trying to backseat drive from the passenger seat. Get. Oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with her?
She wants to get through it. So she's going too fast.
Well, there's getting through it, and then there's common sense.
Oh. Yikes.
In the concrete corral,
Ouch.
Seaham cracks, she scrapes, and she gets stuck.
Oh man, how am I gonna get out of this?
And in the precision reversing section, the calamity continues. In fact, the calamity continues all the way to the end. What Seaham did in the Mega Challenge has me scared about what she might do tomorrow.
We're going to go on the streets of Hamilton tomorrow. Is that going to be a risk for you, for me? I'm going to be in the passenger seat.
It's definitely going to be a big risk.
When we come back, the risky public drive in Hamilton has me regretting my career choice. The three lousiest motorists in the nation are about to do their ultimate test, driving me in Hamilton, Ontario. And Jason is up first. On this drive, I'll be telling Canada's worst drivers which streets they have to turn onto.
You're going to go right on Ferguson Avenue North.
If they miss their turn, no problem.
And that was Ferguson right there.
Okay.
They just have to make their way back to that location.
Okay. Where are you going? You're making everybody stop in both directions. Draped over the yellow line. That was pretty wacky, my friend.
Jason does a lot of wacky things on this drive.
What is this color light that we're going underneath?
It's yellow.
In the first 20 minutes alone, he comes to a dead stop at a green light. He turns left on a red light, and he stops in a crosswalk.
Am I over the line?
Yeah, you are.
Violation after violation of the Highway Traffic Act of Ontario.
Next, Jason turns right on a red light where that's clearly marked as illegal. Then he stops in another crosswalk. And then he blows through an intersection.
That's a red light that we just passed.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Now, we're headed for the highway.
Here it comes. Here's your merging moment, my friend.
Jason speeds up to 80, then correctly blinkers, shoulder checks, and merges.
Perfect. Well done, sir.
But then he slows down to 60.
You're going to get us killed or rear-ended if you go less than 70 on the highway. It's an automatic. Don't shift gears. It'll shift for you.
What's he doing?
He's not listening to me.
It's an automatic transmission car, and he's dropping a gear.
That's down. You just put it to the left. You put it in a lesser than gear, my friend.
Yeah. There we go.
This Thunderbird has several automatic gear settings, and Jason still isn't in the most powerful drive gear.
Put it in higher gear, please. Push it forward, please. Thank you. Wow.
Jason has been told to look for the Aberdeen turnoff. Just as he's passed it, I want him to understand that he's missed the exit.
Aberdeen Avenue, which is right there.
If you've missed your highway exit, just take the next ramp. Back in the city, Jason explains what went wrong.
That was just a ugh.
But how often when you drive normally do you have a ugh?
Not often.
Because of several missed turns, Jason's been on the road for over 2 hours.
I gotta find a bathroom because I gotta go for a pee. I'm gonna pee behind that tree.
Interesting choice.
Before committing his act of indecency, Jason parks in 2 spots designated for nurses.
So this is a good place to park?
Well, not really, but I had to pee so bad I can't do it.
There he is. He's peeing.
What?
I've seen some pretty appalling things during my 10-year stint as the host of Canada's Worst Driver, but never have I seen public urination combined with illegal parking. This sets a new low. Jason, Canada's worst urinator.
Oh, thanks. Now I'm better.
Oh, don't thank me. Don't touch me either. Are you sure you wouldn't like to take a dump in this parking lot?
No, I'm fine.
More than a dozen moving violations after he began this drive.
Look up and see that light for me.
Jason humbly brings us back to the starting point.
Can we get some sanitary wipes, please?
If Jason had been caught for every driving infraction, his total ticket tally would have been $1,865.
That was an average drive.
I love you.
When we come back,
You didn't cut her out?
I didn't think so. She just came around the freaking corner.
Seaham and Cheney do the final drive.
Oh.
Cheney will now drive me in Hamilton.
Wait, do you want to take a selfie?
Are you serious? We're going to start out this way?
No!
Can I go?
We're going to start out by stopping illegally in the very first intersection.
I am on the crosswalk.
2 turns later, we're in another crosswalk.
Your nose is actually into the oncoming traffic lane.
2 turns after that, I'm wondering if Cheney even knows how crosswalks are marked.
Open your door for me. See that white line?
Oh,
You have to stop before that line.
so I gotta be behind it?
Yep.
The things that Cheney doesn't know could fill a book.
Am I allowed to turn left on a red?
I know for one thing, you're not allowed to stop over this white line.
She's unaware that you're not allowed to cross white solid lines. She thinks you're allowed to go straight when you're in the turn lane. And when she sees bus only written on the road,
Am I allowed to drive here?
she has no idea that that means it's for buses only.
Oh my God.
Does Cheney know what any symbols or signals mean?
I don't know what this is.
Before we talk about what that is, let's talk about the fact that we left
at a stop
rules of the
sign?
road on the coffee table where you guys hang out every day. And did you ever pick them up and flip through them or read them or study up before this final drive?
I was actually looking at In Touch and Us Weekly.
Well, a flashing red light like that indicates what is essentially a stop sign. Okay?
I've been sitting here for a while.
You have been.
After Cheney stops in another crosswalk, and then in another crosswalk, and then in another crosswalk,
Oh my God, Andrew.
we're headed for the highway.
If you don't get in the left lane, we're going to miss it.
To change into the left lane, Cheney comes to a dead stop.
This is how you get rear-ended.
On the merge ramp, when I turn my head to check for traffic,
Here we are.
all I see is Cheney sitting like she's in yoga class.
You got super lucky. No traffic coming, easy merge.
But before long, the traffic's coming.
You got to go highway speed.
What is highway speed?
80 at least. You're going to exit at Aberdeen, okay?
So this one's Aberdeen.
Please go at least 80. You're on the highway. Look how fast people are passing you. It's this one. It's this one.
These lines indicate you've passed the turning lane. And at a four-way intersection, this line indicates you've passed the turning lane.
Oh, am I not in the turning lane?
Well, not only are you not in the turning lane, you're also in the pedestrian crosswalk.
Mercifully, this drive is over.
I did really good.
You did really good.
Yeah, I didn't hit anything.
I informed Cheney that her really good drive would have cost her $2,715 if she'd been caught for every infraction. But that's not what she tells Jeremy.
How much?
I don't know, like a couple hundred.
Couple hundred.
Is that really how you guys communicate? You just bold-faced lie to him like that?
Seaham starts by missing a turn. And to get back to it, she cuts through a parking lot and leaves it headed the wrong way on a one-way street.
Is it possible that when we look up and see the back of this traffic light, that tells us that we're going the wrong way on a one-way?
On the highway, Seaham merges successfully.
Beautiful. No traffic, clear as a bell.
But while going 90 kilometers an hour,
You're going to look for exit 69B?
Seaham lurches at the wrong exit.
Oh, that's A, that's A.
Oh, crap.
Whoa. Whoa.
Confused.
The guy behind us must be confused too. Seaham keeps her blinker on for the next 30 seconds.
This one's B.
Seaham turns onto the exit ramp late and doesn't bother slowing down.
Slow down.
When we pass the 30k an hour sign, Seaham's still going 70.
That's way too fast going into this corner.
Back in the city, Seaham believes she's pulling away from a four-way stop. She's not.
The stop. You didn't notice that they didn't have a stop sign?
No.
Off course again, Seaham wants to do a U-turn. So she does one against a red light in an intersection.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
This piece of wackiness is technically 3 moving violations all at once. Pulling into the final parking lot,
Pull up next to that anniversary cake.
Seaham's infractions total $1,450.
So you're happy?
I am. I feel good.
Great.
When we come back, I name Canada's worst driver. In this final episode of Canada's Worst Driver, the remaining nominees were tested on every skill they'd learned in rehab.
Son of a...
And then it was the most important test of all.
The stop.
Driving me in public.
What are you looking at?
Who will our experts name Canada's worst driver? Perhaps Cheney. She was scatterbrained on every challenge, starting with the 3 in a car.
I couldn't do it. Like, it was frustrating.
It was frustrating to watch her mega challenge performance.
It reverts back to not paying attention. Like, I have such a hard time focusing that, like, maybe that, I don't know.
Let's talk about the final drive.
Every stop sign that I came to, over the line. Every crosswalk we approached, over the crosswalk. Every green light, I was sitting there.
How much of this do you think ultimately comes down to your ability to focus?
I'm on medication for it.
But you were saying you were unable to focus.
Yeah,
on the
because
Mega
I
Challenge.
haven't, before I came here, I couldn't get into the doctor to get my medication, so.
So you've been driving unmedicated and you're supposed to be taking meds?
Yeah,
And you've been unmedicated for how long?
for about 2 weeks almost.
Would she be more dangerous as a driver without the prescription, do you think?
I would think so.
I just honestly, this might sound stupid, but I didn't think like that was like an issue, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think that yeah, never mind.
I'll be honest with you, there's no way I would have gone on that drive with you if I'd known that you're supposed to be taking meds for focus.
Yeah.
And you haven't been taking them.
It can be like driving impaired.
If you were involved in a serious collision where focus was a potential issue,
Right,
police do investigate such things.
right.
And that can contribute to evidence to lay a charge of criminal negligence.
Could I go to jail?
Oh, yes. Yes. Criminal negligence causing death has the same penalty range as a murder.
Seaham didn't murder anyone. But on the final public drive, Seaham may have got herself killed at a four-way intersection if I hadn't intervened. If I didn't say stop,
I would have been in an accident.
There was a second occurrence when you got onto the highway. You entered a ramp at way too fast a speed. Again, I think if Andrew wasn't with you, I doubt you would have been able to slow in time. What do you think?
There wasn't enough space, is what I believe.
That's how they were built, so you have to be ready for that sort of thing.
glad you came to rehab?
I am very glad I came to rehab. You absolutely changed my life.
Jason says we changed his life too, but his public drive was a disaster.
I know. I can't make excuses, but
You went through a lot of red lights. Very, very dangerous.
I know I can drive better.
I know you can drive worse too. That's what worries me.
I know.
Who is Canada's worst driver?
For me, it came down to Jason and Cheney.
Cam thinks it came down to just Seaham.
CM was worst in 3 in a car.
And on the public drive, she needed help.
When you told her to stop, had she not stopped, there's no question there would have been a collision.
Tim, agree, disagree?
And it's Cheney. Driving is a responsibility. And there were key phrases that Cheney said to us here today, that she's all over the place, she's unstable, she's in denial. That's not taking responsibility.
Philippe's vote is for Jason.
He was the worst.
Well, but no near misses, Philippe. That's
Yeah,
the
but he
deal
just got
breaker.
lucky because he went through a bunch of red lights. He was lucky.
My first order of business is telling either Seaham or Jason or Cheney that they are not Canada's worst driver. And that person is... you, Jason.
Oh my God! Good job, Jay!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason avoided the title because he was the best person in our Mega Challenge, and he was the only person to pass our opening challenge. Before coming to the Driver Rehabilitation Center, there were many reasons that Jason had been at fault in 6 major accidents. But the number one reason was his vision.
You're kind of like blind, so you need like glasses.
In rehab, we got Jason glasses.
I can see.
And the difference they made was massive. Learning complicated car handling skills
That was awesome.
also made a huge difference.
I'm not gonna hit my house anymore.
And even though he still is appallingly bad behind the wheel,
Are you allowed to do that?
No.
Jason should thank his brother for bringing him to rehab, because he did learn enough to avoid the title Canada's worst driver.
Thank you, bro.
Stay focused, hey.
Cheney, Seaham, I won't waste time. I'll just get right to the heart of the matter. Canada's worst driver is...
Cheney.
Oh my God, Sam.
That means Seaham gets her license back.
Congratulations.
I'm so excited for you, Seaham.
I'm gonna puke.
At home in Calgary, Seaham had become so scared of driving after an accident 4 years ago, she'd basically quit.
No, okay, that's it for me. I'm pulling over.
In rehab, Seaham was frankly a difficult student.
I'm over it.
You're over what?
The lesson.
But eventually,
Look for the gap and just steer there.
she did invest herself in the process, and she did learn an awful lot.
Absolutely perfect.
And now, Seaham has enough confidence to be a regular driver on public roads. Beautiful. Which is a major relief for her husband, Wayne.
Not having to worry about being the primary driver is definitely a big weight off of my shoulders.
Keep on practicing out there. Well done. Cheney.
This is embarrassing.
Here's your driver's license. And I'm going to do something that needs to be done.
Am I gonna get it back?
Do you think you're going to get it back?
Seriously?
What do you think?
Please don't cut my
You
license.
think I should do that?
Please don't.
What do you think, Jeremy? Watch this.
Oh my God.
When we met Cheney in Calgary, she was an uneducated, makeup applying, selfie taking dancer behind the wheel.
People should learn how to drive.
Yeah, people should learn how to drive.
In fact,
Duck face.
Cheney was so unfocused on driving,
Look, my hands.
it's truly amazing she hadn't had a life-altering accident.
Oh, Cheney.
I gotta call you back.
In rehab, Cheney received dozens of driving lessons.
If the front wheels are locked, you're gonna skid.
But when it came time to apply what she'd learned, she had difficulty remembering what she'd learned.
You remember how to do it?
Nope. One thing that I've learned at rehab is that I'm a completely bad driver and that I need help.
Cheney does receive help in the form of medication, but she hasn't been taking it.
Focus on what you're doing.
I am focused, Jeremy.
And when that manifested itself in the worst public drive this year,
You want to drive with your hands on the wheel and not on your hair.
we had no choice but to name her Canada's worst driver.
I don't know what.
But that's not why I cut her license in half. I did that because on day one of rehab, Cheney handed me 2 driver's licenses. And having 2 licenses is illegal.
Well, you can be ticketed for having 2 licenses. So I just saved you
Oh.
a possible ticket.
So I get them back?
You get this one back,
Thank
not
you.
that one.
So excited.
Holy.
I wish I could destroy both of Cheney's licenses, but legally, I'm just not allowed to do that.
You are Canada's worst driver.
Oh
my God.
Told you, Cheney.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you, sir. Thanks for bringing. Yeah.
You tried, right?
Okay. Bye, Jeremy. See you, Cheney.
Cheney Richard, Canada's worst driver.